seems to be nice, right? So let's say x is the number of what? 2 point. Yeah, and it's going to be, this might make your math different, but you should get the same answer at the end once you go back and adjust for what you're, not adjust, but correlate to what your variables represent. Number of 2-point problems. And what's y going to be? Number of how much? 5-point problems. 5-point problems. She tells you two things. First, that there are 38 problems. So what equation can you write if you know there are 38 problems? Allie. X plus y is equal to 38. That's nice. And they also tell you the test is worth 100 points. So what's the next one equation going to be, Phoebe?
5x plus 2y.
In this case, it's 2x plus 5y is equal to 100. It doesn't, but we're being consistent with how we label them. We labeled x as the number of 2-point problems and y is the number of 5-point problems. You can switch that and just switch it all the way through. You're going to get the same answer. So what method are we using? We're going to use substitution. So what's the first step in substitution? What's that one word? Isolate. So you pick one of the equations and you isolate one of the variables. So which equation, the first one or the second one do you want? Let's do y is equal to 38 minus. Where do you plug this in now? You plug it in for y. So now the second word is substitute. So what do you end up with? The way you can write it is 2x plus 5 blank for y equals 100. On yesterday's quiz, a lot of people forgot about like the other thing that was tacked on when they did it. So what should we write there? What goes in there? 38 minus. So now what's the right word? Now we just solve. Well, yeah, we're now in the solve step, and to solve we're going to distribute and simplify. So we end up with 2x plus, what is that, 150 plus 40, what, 190? Minus 5x is equal to 100. So what do we end up with? Negative 3x is equal to negative 90. So x is equal to 30. And once you get x, how do you get y? Well, look what you did right here. You plug it into you can plug it into, does it matter which one you plug it into? No, but which one's really the easiest? You've already isolated y, right? You're trying to find y. You've already isolated it. So y is going to be equal to 38 minus 30 is 8. So you know, so you're not done yet. What are two more things you need to do in order to be totally done? Check to see if it works. Check to see if it works. So 8 plus 30 is indeed equal to 38. And let's do 2 times 30 plus 5 times 8. What's that going to be? 60 plus 40 is 100. So does it check? What's the last thing you need to do? What haven't you done yet? You've solved. You need to check. We already checked. Actually, write the answer. You guys do this cloud thing, and then I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to state as your answer. You can't just write all the numbers in existence and say, my answer is there somewhere. Right? So to answer this question, x was the number of 2-point problems. So what do you write? 30 2-point problems and 8 5-point problems. That's what you would write. And one thing that would be great, if I could write legibly, which I'm having trouble at the bottom of the screen here, problems like this. 8 2-point problems like this. Circle it. That would be great. X to be. Number of 11-inch. Not 11. Is it? That was 11-inch, yeah. And y is equal to number of 12-inch. So you know x plus y is 80. And now that's for the number of balls, but now you want for the total bill. So it's 2.75 times plus times y is equal to 245. Oh, not 240. So what was that first word? Well, what were the three words? First was isolate. Yep. And what was second? Substitute. And then what? And then solve. Then check. And then maybe, what's that last thing you could do? State your answer.
Is putting it like a point
So,
and circling it okay?
Generally not. It'd be nice if you spent 5 seconds and wrote it out. I get infinitely happy when I see that. Okay, and I kind of ascend into like math angeldom or something. I don't know. Now in this one, we're gonna isolate. What do you want to isolate? You want to isolate x?
No.
No. Does it matter overall?
Yes, it does.
Matters to you. Okay, matters to Phoebe. Okay, so y is equal to 80 minus x. So we plug that in, we get 275x plus 325 times what? 80 minus x equals. So if this is the case, I'm not going to do the algebra, but can someone tell me what x is going to be on this one? Or who has an answer for x on this one? Does anybody have an answer for x? Let's do this then, fine. So what do you end up with? 2.75x plus 240 plus 20 is 260 minus 3.25x equals 245. And what do you end up with? You end up with negative 0.5x is equal to negative 15. So x is equal to 30. And now what do you do with 30? You have a nice equation right here. You have a nice one right there. So what does y equal? 80 minus 30 is 50. So these answers were relatively confident. So the answer would be 30, how many balls? 30, 11 inch and 50. So does it check? Does it check? Yay, it does check. It does work. Do you like word problems, everybody? You don't like word problems. Ah, that's fine.
So y minus 5x equals negative 6. Then, so you would add the 5x on both sides. So you have y equals 5x minus 6. Now you plug in this equation into this equation. So you would put this in parentheses. So you have 2 and put this y value into 2y plus 3x.
Let's see how it turns out. Let's see how it turns out. This was kind of an experiment.
2 in parentheses 5x minus 6.
How's she doing so far?
Plus
She doing okay?
x equals 14.
It's like the remix of the work.
10x minus 12 plus 3x.
It's a guest spot by Ethan Forster. Feature.
12 on both sides to get 26 equals 13x. So x would be equal to 2. Now plug in 2 to our
This is good.
over here.
Good, she's plugging it in.
Y minus 5 times 2 equals negative 6. So y minus 10 equals negative 6. Add 10 on both sides. Y equals 4.
Yay!
4x equals 2. Sorry for this.
Nice. Okay. Go to. Nope. Right here. It goes to what? Yeah, excellent. Good. So we have x2, 2. Now what do we do for the range? You look at the same thing, but for the y values. What's the range of this one? Negative 1 all the way to? What's it go up to? 6. And what about here? Negative 1 to 6. So which is the one that fits what we need?
Because the y-intercept.
Ah, so both of these fit the domain and range, but then it says the y-intercept has to be what? 1. That's the y-intercept. So which one is it? Yeah, here, what's the y-intercept? 0, comma, negative 1. We want it to be positive 1. So you can do this by process of elimination. Now, what types of functions are these? What are these called? Piecewise-defined functions. How can you tell that they're piecewise-defined functions? They're sharp. There's corners. Yeah. Or there's a gap would be a piecewise-defined function. Or there would be a piecewise-defined function with a gap. Sure. Which graph of the 4 that are up on the screen right now is it? Which one do you think it is?
D.
It's D? Who thinks it's D? Who thinks it's C? So we think it's D? Why is it D? Someone tell me why it's D. Katrina, go.
Because it says that the speed increases.
But what does it say first?
It says that she runs downhill.
No, but what's her speed at the beginning? Like,
It's a constant.
ah, constant speed. So if it's a constant speed, it implies what kind of line is it, Jonas? What's another word for level? Another horizontal. Constant speed is going to be a horizontal line. Yeah, good job. And then what happens to her speed? It says the speed, does it go up or down? It increases. So it should go up. Increased speed. Like there, exactly. Very nice. So let's take a look at this. Let's look at the phrase first. A family travels at a constant speed during a road trip. So what does constant speed mean? Don't move. Horizontal line, right? And then what happens? After 3 hours, they stop for 2 hours. They stop. So what's their speed?
It says
Speed is, they stop for 2 hours. So their speed is 0. So
This isn't distance.
I know. We're talking about speed here. So this is just for speed. So for 2 hours they eat and rest, so the speed is still 0, and then they continue for 4 more hours at the same speed. So when you're looking at these graphs, you're looking for actually distance. So we're not looking at the same thing we did before. We're looking at distance. So if you move at a constant speed, what happens to your distance from where you started?
It goes on.
It goes at a constant. So they all start at the same amount. They all start at the same amount, like this. And then what happens to their distance if they stop? They stay where they are. It better be horizontal. So now we're down to these two, and then you're going to continue at the same amount. But how long did they stop for?
2 hours.
So which one is it?
B.
B. Good job. Homework will be in